Hello everyone, I'm Musical Daredevil, and this is Crassius Curio, or as he likes to call himself, Uncle Crassius, one of the counselors of House Falalu and a rather interesting person overall. Let's talk to him and see if we can get this part of the main quest started. As usual, we'll just tell him our story and ask to be given the title, and it says that Orvis Dren, one of the other counselors, does not want us to be Hortator, but this guy's completely fine with the idea. And in order for us to get the title, all this person asks is for us to give him a kiss. Now, we could stall for time, but that's just going to lead to a dialogue loop, so we actually have to give him the kiss. And now he really likes us, and he gives us a title as well as a little suggestion. Well, a little suggestion is nothing more than just a description of the politics of House Falalu, and it talks about how a couple other counselors are in Orvis Dren's pocket. But we'll deal with that later. For now, we have a couple counselors who are here in Vivec to take care of.
You may speak.
And both of them over in the St. Olms canton.
Outlander, what do you want?
Now, I'm sure you've noticed by now that this game looks quite a bit different from the last update. I finally, after a very long time of waiting to do this, got around to installing the Louis Kahn Dystopia mod, which makes everything look like it's made out of concrete and going to crumble any second. Now, I looked around all over the place for this mod, and I just couldn't find it anywhere. I looked at a whole bunch of modding websites and no one had it. Eventually I discovered on one of the websites that was listed there as the Morrowind sound and graphics overhaul. I have no idea why they called it that, but I don't care, it's installed and now the game looks like this. Which is pretty good, I can't complain. St. Olms Canton is right over here. You guys have seen it far too many times already. Both counselors are on the top level. Relatively easy to get to. The first one is Yingling Half-Troll, and he is right inside the front door. Yingling's manor is pretty small. He's right inside this door here.
What say you?
Now, I don't quite remember how much he has to like us before he's willing to give us the title. I know Crassius has to be at 70 before you get that option. I guess I'll make this guy 70 also. And like usual, we'll ask this guy about the title, and that is the wrong dialogue option. And he says that he'll give us the title, but first we have to give him 2,000 gold. But I have like over 100 times that, so it doesn't matter all that much anyway.
This bit.
Now, I could kill him if I really wanted to, but that would take a while, and plus you guys are going to get to see killing anyway later in the video. Now, the other counselor is Drambero, whom you guys will remember from way back, and I think it was like episode 4, when we got the awesome sword that I'm still using right now. And he's still living here in the Haunted Manor, which still looks haunted. Oh, it even has that voices sound clip from the tomb. And down at the bottom is the still unlocked door. I wonder if anyone's ever come through here and decided to just go through that door that mysteriously got unlocked. So here is Drambero again, still taking precautions that no one finds him. And when we tell him about the title of Hortator, he says that we found him, so he's just going to give the title to us anyway, no problem. Rather easy there. And now it takes care of everyone in Vivec for now. Next we get to go to one of the more scenic locations of the game and talk to Orvis Dren in order to get him and the other two counselors taken care of. And the place we get to go to is known as Dren Plantation, which I believe is in that general direction. Yes, it is. Interesting fact about Crassius Curio, he is actually a bit of an artist, and has written a play known as The Lust Argonian Maid. Now, I read The Lust Argonian Maid, and I have to say it was an absolutely brilliant piece exploring the emotional dynamic between the captive and the overseer. Through the interaction between master and servant, Crassius breaks down our predispositions on who truly has everything, and who desires it. The overt symbolism of the chambers juxtaposed with the spear adds a delicate context, evoking the imagery of that time-tested work, A Less Rude Song. Oh, sorry, got a bit carried away there. Anyway, we're just a little bit north of Vivek, and Dren Plantation is just ahead, past all of these Verts trees. That's one of the other odd things the sound graphics overhaul does. It makes every spell sound like it has like 100 chimes attached to it. Very strange. Also, it's a big pop-in problem, but you guys probably won't see that as badly. And plus, it can probably be fixed through the Distant Land dialogue anyway. So here is Dren Plantation, and Orvis Dren is all the way at the top of his villa. There's also a couple bodyguards wandering around here somewhere. Oh, and also a servant doing the sweeping. Up here at the top is Orvis Dren, and he has a rather nice set of armor on him. As you can tell, he doesn't like us all that much. We'll do a usual thing though, and ask to be confirmed as Hortator, and he immediately dismisses us and says goodbye. So we'll try this again, but this time we'll feed him a line about defeating Dagoth and bringing peace to Morrowind and whatever.
Your wounds are
As you can
great.
tell by that sound clip, he now wants to kill us. See, it seems that he's made a deal with Dagoth, and so he doesn't really appreciate us trying to kill him. This is actually one of the easier fights in this part of the main quest. Orvis Dren goes down pretty easily. And I sort of fight with honor, I don't hit someone when they're down. It's just a personal preference. And Orvis Dren has some really nice equipment on him too. Look at that, the servants so dedicated to their work. Their master just got
What
killed
is it,
and they just go
Sarah?
right back to sweeping. Shows how dedicated his staff are. So now that Orvis Dren has been killed, 2 more counselors of House Halalu no longer have his influence over them, and so we can talk to them about their vote for the title, and they will most likely say yes. One of the counselors is located very close to the town of Suran, and it looks like the mods completely destroyed my map there. And the other one is on that 7-shaped island just to the east of Vivek. Now, if I know my Bethesda designs correctly, I'm sure the counselor will be all the way at the top of the villa. Yep, sure enough, here she is. She is quite taken aback by the idea that she actually has to think for herself, and she just kind of gives us the title no problem. Now we have one more counselor to take care of, and then we can head back to Crassius, and we can officially be Hortator of House Halalu. Here is the villa of the final one, with rooftop bodyguards and everything. The layout of this villa is pretty similar to the one we just saw. Nothing too crazy going on here. And you are not the counselor at all. Doesn't even want to talk to us about the title. It's rude. Ah, this is the right room. Our final counselor. She, like all the other ones, if I can click the right dialogue option, doesn't give us any trouble, just gives us the title, and we can be on our way.
What is this about? What do you want?
Hello again, Crassius. Give me stuff now. So we are officially Hortator of House Halalu, and Crassius gives us as a prize the Belt of the Hortator, which is actually a very useful item for a change, and I'm going to put that on right now. And with that chime, I think that about does it for this update. I'm Musical Daredevil, and join me next time as we tackle what is probably the hardest part of this part of the main quest.